As residents of Moscow go, Masha's income is pretty average. She's not one of its richest residents, nor one of its poorest. She's the owner of a cat and the single mother of a teenage girl. For her, the economic impact of the so-called special military operation and the subsequent sanctions means spending less and saving more.
A few years ago, we used to be able to go to Europe, we could go to Asia, but now you'd think twice and choose traveling around Russia more. Tutor fees for the kids, doctors and healthcare and clothes too have gone up in price. Some things I can deal without, some non-essential items, including clothes and food. Anything that's outside my basic consumption list is getting more difficult to buy, and now I don't usually bother budgeting for these things.
Outside this market, in a poorer area of Moscow, similar concerns.
Milk went up, bread, sausages, everything went up in price. Mayonnaise, everything.
I have a lot of grandchildren and was planning to buy them gifts, but now I'll have to adjust my plans and buy something cheaper.
Across town, in the centre of Moscow, everything's a bit more expensive. Many people are buying gifts for the New Year holiday, and here there are different worries.
I'm not greatly affected by price growth. Some stuff maybe used to be 5 to 7% cheaper. Maybe some gifts for the kids are now a bit more expensive to get here. So we've cut back a bit for that, but generally everything's fine.
Services have gone up in price and utilities. When I compare my November and December bills, the difference is 3,500 rubles. That's a significant increase.
While Russia lost access to its foreign reserves, international transactions became significantly more complicated and some sectors nearly collapsed. Swift central bank interventions combined with record oil and gas prices meant the economic shock was buffered. That's meant the economy as a whole held up more than initial predictions.
The negative forecasts made by many experts and Western analysts have not come true. According to the Ministry of Economic Development, Russia's GDP declined by only about 2% in January to November, compared to the same period last year.
The plan is to use reserve funds and borrowing to make up the expected budget deficit. But 2023 will be tough for Russia, according to its central bank. The country survived the shock of sanctions. Now it's trying to mitigate the grind of sanctions. With the ever-present risk, more could be implemented and loopholes tightened. And Russia's residents are responding. Consumer demand is significantly down, which concerns the finance ministry as people choose to save for the troubles ahead rather than spend. Hundreds of thousands are off to fight. Hundreds of thousands have left the country. It's an unprecedented new dynamic in modern Russian history, and the impacts of that massive change are due to play out in 2023. Stuart Smith, CGTN, Moscow.